Well, hello and welcome to SoCal Prep Report. My name's Randy Rosenwell, your host. I'll be joined by Tarek from SB Live in a moment. We're going to talk volleyball tonight. Mira, Costa, the #1 team in the country. Their coach Cam Green is here. The setter will also join us, Charlie Fuerbringer, and she is the best setter in girls volleyball in the country. Also, Carson football, their head coach Mike Christensen and his outstanding running back linebacker Jerry Misa Alafua, who is a big-time talent and a candidate for City Player of the Year. You're candidate for co-host of the year, right?
I'm trying to go for Dad of the Year.
Oh,
come on!
I knew it.
I can't do the show and not shout out my newborn daughter.
A month today.
I'm actually got a little more energy, getting a little more sleep these days. An extra 30 minutes, it goes a long way.
Okay. Sierra Canyon's girls volleyball team 3-0. Sweeping a very good Santa Margarita team.
Stephanie Wigfall's one of the best, and I know it's life without their pit commit. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but she was outstanding last year. And I know Sierra Canyon, they don't really have to rebuild; they reload. And I know they're right back at it. The Trailblazers.
Yeah, they have a young lady, Danica Roch. And Roch is going to go to Boston College. She had 11 kills in their big win.
Olivia Babcock, sorry. That's the young lady that they graduated last
Olivia
year.
Babcock, yeah. 6'4", great player. Also, Mira Costa. We talked about him being #1. And the reason they're #1 in the country is they knocked off the previous #1, Tarek. That was Mater Dei. They beat them 3 straight sets, and that caught the attention of the pollsters nationwide, and that's why they're ranked #1.
We were talking about that a little bit off the air before the show. Mm-hmm. What's it like to be #1? We'll have to talk about it on the show, but that's a big target, and I know everyone's trying to come after them.
Let's find out right now. We have Cam Green, 6th-year head coach. There is Miss Charlie Fuerbringer, the great setter of the Mustangs of Mira Costa. Coach, Charlie, thanks for coming aboard. We'll start with you, Cam. What's it like being #1 in the country?
Well, first of all, thanks for having us on the show. We're really excited to be here. But, to be honest, it's somewhat overwhelming. It's kind of hard to comprehend when you say it out loud. And I sometimes laugh to myself when I say it because girls volleyball is so big in the United States that to wrap my brain around that fact is tough. But we're really proud of it. We know with that comes a lot of pressure, right? Like, how do you stay there? How do you maintain, putting our focus into getting better all the time and not buy into the fact that, we're this good right now? Because to be honest, the ranking is great, but we want to be ranked #1 at the end of the season. So it's just learning how to, what we say is avoid the noise and just get to work is what we're thinking about right now.
Charlie, for you as a marquee player on the #1 team in the country, coach has to deal with it on a separate level, but you're on the team. You're the one actually playing. How is it you're dealing with all the #1 in the country talk?
I think I could speak for the whole team saying that we are so honored to be ranked #1, but I think we know that there's so much more that can come out of us. We know that this is just the start, and we're going to do everything possible to end up being the best version of ourselves.
Charlie, the reason you're #1 is you knocked off Mater Dei 3 in a row. What was it like setting against the Monarchs, and at what point in that match did you say, hey, we're beating the former #1 team in the country?
It was super fun. We got to play. Mater Dei has a lot of really good athletic players, and I think that was a fun new kind of team that we were able to play. A bigger block, better defense, great setting. I think the moment I knew we were going to win was when our libero, Taylor Decker, went on a service run. We were down, I think, 12-17, and she was on a service run, and then all of a sudden I look at the scoreboard, it's 16-17, and that's when I kind of knew that we were going to win. We were just flowing.
Coach, do you have to find creative ways to challenge your team more? You're riding so high, maybe not a lot of adversity, sweeping Mater Dei. Are you trying to find ways to maybe create adversity in practice if you can even do it?
Yeah, I think, the cool part about this group is they're so self-motivated to get better. that that part kind of comes naturally. It's not really that difficult, and so we just talk about building. Like the season goes so fast that we know from the start of the season in Hawaii when Charlie was actually gone and Croatia winning a world championship. We were focusing on little pieces of it at a time because you can't do all of it at once. So the cool part, and I guess the best way to answer that question is we're constantly adding a new part to our defense or to our offense, and we're just tweaking it a little bit as we go because that's kind of how time allows. So, but the best part is these girls are motivated. Ever since the season ended last year, it's been game on with what they wanted to accomplish this year. So keeping them engaged has not been difficult, and it's pretty cool. I'm really proud of that.
Coach Green, I know you had a number of good years at USC with that program. How is the college game, and how have you brought it to Mira Costa? How have you benefited by being a college coach with these kids?
Yeah, I think it was huge. When I coached at USC for 7 years and Long Beach State for 2 years, and the entire time, all 9 of those years, I was in charge of running the offense. It's almost an offensive coordinator, so to speak, in the college game. So I basically learned from some of the best coaches in the country on how to look at a game and figure out how to attack teams and how we can use all of our attackers to run different offensive routes and really bring people from all different angles coming at you, which is it's exactly what's happening in the men's game, and it's really happening a lot more in the women's game on the college side now than it ever has been, which is really exciting to watch. So I've really taken exactly what we've done and I've implemented into our system, and it helps having the best setter in the country, and it helps having incredible athletes that I don't think there's any limits to. So I just keep pushing the limits of what we can do and keep trying new things. And having that time in college has been instrumental to what I'm trying to do as a coach, and just really prove to everyone that these girls are capable of so much athletically that why not throw it all at them and see what sticks. And so far we're having a blast, and offensively it's pretty fun to see what we do out there.
Charlie, my last question for you, well, not so much a question, but an opportunity. I'm sure if you could, you'd reel off the whole roster, but I do want you to give an opportunity to shout out your teammates. Who are the ones that you're setting to? Who are the ones that deserve just as much credit as you do? I'm sure you could go through the roster, like I said, but if you could name the 3 or 4, who would they be?
Yeah, well, we have a libero, Taylor Decker. She's, in my opinion, top libero in her class, but she stays so steady throughout the whole match, so calm, and has a great energy and just leaves a positive impact on the court. And she has amazing ball control. She's awesome to play with. We have a sophomore outside, Audrey Flanagan. She's our hot hitter. She's tall, very good, and she's super positive. She's new varsity this year, so obviously that's been a little nerve-wracking, but I think me being a senior, and then we have 4 or 9 other seniors who are there to help her deal with that adversity. And I could go through the whole list. Our middle, Rachel Moglia, is one of the hardest workers on the team. Right side, Chloe, very good. And Simone's a great passer.
Very good, Charlie.
There we go. Had to pick. It was a tough question.
I know. I thought you was going to give us a
there.
play-by-play description of the modern-day match there for a while. Coach, congratulations on being number 1. I know you have a tough match tomorrow night in San Diego against a very good Torrey Pines team. Charlie, best of luck not only this season. I know you're already committed to Wisconsin. Go Badgers. Enjoy State Street when you get there. We enjoyed both of you, and again, congratulations on a wonderful start to the volleyball season.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. The Mustangs of Mira Costa.
Sometimes, as a journalist or reporter, you're supposed to stay objective. You can't root for anybody, but then you just meet really nice people like that, and you just go win the national championship. I don't even know if they can. I don't even know if girls volleyball, they'd have to get named.
It's all mythical.
They'd have to get named the national champion, correct? Like in football.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of national championships in football, Mater Dei and St. John Bosco rolled again last week.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, it's listen, I say it all the time. Generally, when we see states come into California, or these California teams go to other states, with the exception of Long Beach Poly playing Bishop Gorman up in Oregon, the California teams usually end up the victor, and we've seen more of that with Mater Dei and St. John Bosco.
Bishop Gorman is a monster program in Las Vegas. They're just very difficult to beat. All right, a couple other games we want to go over from last week. Corona Centennial over Punahou of Hawaii. Punahou's got a great athletic program. I know them a lot from their terrific volleyball teams. Corona Centennial outscored them 50-43 in this game, and Longstreet came alive.
Yeah,
Husan had a wonderful game quarterbacking for Centennial.
I think he threw a touchdown pass with like 26 seconds left to win the game. That one came down to the wire. The Huskies, their only loss is to Mater Dei, and it was only a touchdown difference with 4 minutes to go. They're right there.
Yeah, they were right there. I thought they were going to win that game. Going to remember, I picked them.
They certainly had an opportunity, and then Mater Dei kind of turned it on with the running game and took it away.
I believe in Matt Logan, the coach at Corona Centennial. By the end of the year, they're going to be probably at least in the semifinals of the Open Division, and they're going to have to play either St. John Bosco or Mater Dei, and that's where we're going to find out just how good Centennial is at the end of the campaign. The best game of last week was Long Beach Poly getting by Mission Viejo. Tarek was there. We're going to get Tarek's take on that game when we come back. But first, we have a spotlight. Enjoy the next 90 seconds. This was a barn burner of a football game. Pass to Kamari Smith, who had a huge game. You were there. You enjoyed this. This was a thriller.
Talk about a video game stat line. Kamari Smith, only a sophomore. I think he had 7 catches for 251 yards and 3 touchdowns. Darius Curry had 4 touchdowns, threw 3, ran for 1, passed for 300 yards. Great game, game-winning touchdown with like 29 seconds left. Great game.
You know who threw for 300 yards? Elijah Brown at Mater Dei. Talking about a couple guys who had some wonderful moments. Elijah Brown, close to 400 yards and 7 touchdowns. They murdered the team from Georgia, Creekside. And also another guy threw 7 touchdowns, Brady Smigel, who threw 46 a year ago against a pretty good St. Joseph Santa Maria team, which actually won the game. I think someone should sign a contract with Newbury Park and get all their games on, because they're going to win either 70-60 or lose 65-50. They can't stop anyone, but boy, they score.
Elijah Brown, his 7 touchdowns were a career high. I just want to note that. Brady Smigel, I think he's thrown 7 before, so it's not totally surprising, but they got to learn how to stop somebody.
That's not going to happen. Just enjoy the games. They're high scoring.
Okay, fair enough.
CIF Southern Section Top 10. SB Live helped us out with this group of teams. You know all the teams on top. It's the same guys. We're getting repetitive. Mater Dei, Bosco, Centennial, Olu. Sherman's doing a good job there. And Sierra Canyon. Back 5, Poly, Los Alamitos, Jay Serra, Mission Viejo, and Rancho Cucamonga. Any thoughts?
So that was the only movement really, was Long Beach Poly beating Mission Viejo, so Viejo dropped a little bit. Rancho Cucamonga's hanging on by a thread. They barely beat Norco on a Thursday night. I think it was 21-14. So Rancho Cucamonga is teetering. The last thing I'll mention, Sierra Canyon and Orange Lutheran play next week, so there will be a little bit of movement there potentially.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game. Key game in the city, Palisades. Oi! They were undefeated until they ran into Granada Hills. The charter schools went at it, the Charter Bowl.
That's right.
Granada Hills won it 26-10. Stanley, a huge game.
I think Daryl Stanley had 2 touchdowns, more than 100 yards rushing. He's great in the special teams facet of the game. Yeah, the Highlanders I think moved to 2-1-1, or they have I think they're 1-1-1.
1-1-1.
Yeah, they have a tie in there. That's right.
I thought Ty went to the runner. That's a different sport. Football, great performance in the city. This kid's good. Isaiah Rameau of Chatsworth, and I did it against Monroe, who's not strong. 396 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. With the other one, Edward Rivera of Southeast, here's a freshman. 192 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 9 tackles on defense. They lose to Bernstein in like a 36-35 game. But he's a freshman.
Yeah, that's outstanding. It's always fun to hear about freshmen. Zachariah Branch, I think the USC freshman, right? Yeah. Like anytime there's a dazzling freshman, this new shiny toy that's playing well, it's always kind of dries eyeballs.
Our top 10 in the LA City section. It's coming at you. It's still Birmingham, even though they lost 1 game.
Oh no,
it's not up there because we don't want to admit that Birmingham lost. They're actually 2-1. All right, as you look down there, Cleveland lost tonight, so they're going to go to 3-1. They're going to drop in the rankings.
Yeah, I really think Birmingham's loss was to a Southern Section team, a Notre Dame team that's trending upward, and Garfield. I just think you got 2 or 3 teams that are vying for that Open Division championship spot in the city, and you leave it at that.
Dimely in the top 10.
Yeah,
huh?
That's a surprise. We'll see how long they can stick around. They thumped Taft pretty well, so they deserve to be in the top 10.
My vision tells me Carson is 3-0 and 3rd in the city. And with that in mind, let's bring their head coach in, Mike Christensen, and his wonderful linebacker, running back, Jerry Misa Alafua. I love the name.
Nailing it, though. That's good, man.
You think?
Yeah.
You're impressive.
I'm not even going to try.
Why not?
Because it's just, why you're nailing it. I don't want to butcher it. I'm just going to call him Jerry.
Okay. Jay.
Oh, well, we'll ask him. Maybe he's got a nickname.
Okay, we'll see. Are they there? We don't see them. There they are, Mike Christensen. We've known him for years. Mike, how are you? Congratulations on the turnaround at Carson. Your Colts are playing great football.
Oh, thank you, guys. It's great to be with you. And yeah, the kids are playing well. We're getting better. We had a little hiccup last week and didn't play our best, but we'll get back at it again this week and try to get back on track.
It's nice to have a hiccup and win, isn't it?
Oh, that's the best. Yeah, you don't want to have the hiccup and lose. So it's good. We're learning. Our kids have worked really hard, and they're starting to kind of put it all together, and they're a great little group. So we like them a lot.
Tell us about the guy that's in the picture with you. Jerry, he doesn't want to say the last name, Misa Aleafua. Tell us about Jerry, because I know he plays on both sides of the ball for you.
I had the pleasure of coaching Jerry's brother, Jack Sula, in 2007. And he was the city player of the year back then. And it's kind of it makes me feel old because Jerry is really a lot like his brother. He's a lot bigger, but he does a lot of the same things. He plays the game the same way. He doesn't come off the field. We'll take him off just to give him some water or something. But he loves to play, and he's a tremendous competitor. He's a great character kid, great grades. I mean, he has the whole package. He truly is a very, very special football player.
Jerry, you guys are clearly trending. What is the approach? Is it kind of like you guys talk about the Open Division, or is it kind of just a day at a time, week at a time? What's the approach for Carson football?
It's more of a week-to-week thing, day by day. We try to focus on the task at hand, try to get ready for the game we have for the upcoming week, just so we don't get too ahead of ourselves, and get ready for the week that we have ahead of us.
Jerry, your team kind of is running under the radar. I mean, over the years, Carson has won like 11 city titles. It's a renowned program, but not a lot of people talk about Carson football. Around campus, and I know you're one of the leaders of the team, is that spirit picking up? Do the people at the school believe, hey, the Colts are back?
I think it's always been there. Carson has a rich tradition of football. Whether you lose or win, the city's going to always have love for you. Just winning, and it's a lot better, though. And it's getting better around the school. I think we got a lot of believers, but the support's been there, and it's getting better week by week.
Yeah, just ask Patrick Mahomes. He used to be a winner. They lost tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
okay,
my
go ahead.
gosh, victim of the moment.
Just a victim of the moment.
Coach, when you're building out a schedule, we've seen Birmingham do it year after year. They'll take on Southern Section teams, and sometimes they'll get thumped. But they know they're getting better because of the goal that's at hand, and they end up running through the city or doing well in the city, right? And they've gone on to win championships. Do you kind of echo that philosophy? I see there's a lot more Southern Section teams on your non-league schedule. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, it's you want to get a good mix, and it depends on your team. We're still a pretty young team. We have some This is the first time I've had a senior class since I came back a couple years ago. We didn't have seniors when I came back. It was just freshmen and sophomores, and those kids have grown up a little bit. So, we try to it really doesn't matter to us really who we're playing. We're kind of competing against ourselves. We understand the task at hand. We're in the toughest section in the league in the city section for sure. And the Marine League is tough. It's competitive. Some great rivalries. So we know what's ahead there. And we also understand, until somebody knocks Birmingham off, they're it. So we understand pretty clearly what we have to do, and we're kind of just trying to take care of our business and get better every week. And our kids have done a great job with that approach, and have really grown through these first 3 games of the season. They've done a great job.
Now, Jerry, we know you're a great linebacker. You like to hit people, and offensively, you get it done at the running back position. When you see a friend, you say, hey, I'm a high school football player. What do you tell your friend you do on the football field? Are you a running back? Are you a linebacker? Who are you?
I'm more probably defensive. I think that's my main position right now, but I like to help or do whatever I can to help out our team, just wherever I can be to get the win, or even just contribute to the win to help my teammates get open, or let them be able to do what they do. That's what I tell them. Just more defensive, probably.
Well, guys, congratulations on a great start. You're having paramount success. Oh, actually, that's the team you're playing next. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Oh, no. So I think you got a great chance to go 4-0. I think you got a great chance in the Marine League. I know San Pedro's strong year in and year out and batting solid. But best of luck. We'll see you down the road. Mike, congratulations. I know this is your second tenure at Carson. Great years at Loyola as well. You've turned it back around. The Colts are back on the map. Jerry, you got a shot at Player of the Year in this section. Keep it going, guys. We really appreciate what you've done at Carson.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for having us on. And
you got it. Our
we'll
pleasure.
See you down the road, guys.
Yeah. It's good to see the Colts back, isn't it?
It is. It's a little bit. I just feel like it's been the same teams the last 2-3 years, and to see a team kind of knock off Franklin really undoubtedly and rise up through the rankings, and let's see if they can keep it up. Long season to go.
Want to talk about some football games this weekend?
Sure.
Want to start Saturday night? We'll work backwards.
Oh, wow.
Kahuku. Not cuckoo, Kahuku.
Okay.
They're playing at Mater Dei. They're 4-0. They're ranked number 1 in the state of Hawaii. Obviously, we know Mater Dei is the number 1 ranked team in the country. They're 2 undefeated clubs. Kahuku's got a path to the national title. They win this week. They host St. John Bosco next week. They win those games. They haven't lost in over 2 years in Hawaii. They're saying, why not us?
Why not us? Yeah, that's a good.
You can put that in one of your SB Live columns, too, if you want.
It's actually not bad. I might quote you.
Yeah, somebody has to.
Yeah, you got to get a little copy in there. I think that's a good rally cry, right? What an opportunity we have, right? That's what I would, that's what I would tell my team if I had the next 2 opponents, Mater Dei and St. John Bosco. It sounds like quite the task, actually. But yeah, it's an opportunity that they have, and why not?
Yeah, Sterling Carvalho, their head coach, said that's why I schedule these teams for the opportunity. He said, why not? We want to play the best to see if we can be the best, and they got their chance. All right, the next game we want to talk about is Corona Centennial and Bishop Gorman. Now, Centennial's favored just about every week. They're not favored this week. Gorman has a phenomenal program. This should be an interesting game, though. We're going to find out if the Huskies have improved a lot since the Mater Dei game.
It's actually, Matt Logan told me, it's Centennial's first ever game out of the state of California.
I didn't know
if you can believe that.
No.
Right? That's a kind of a nationally ranked team every year, but every time they play these big games, it's either from someone here in SoCal, or they'll travel up north and play, De La Salle or something like that. So for them to go out of state is unprecedented, and we'll see how they do in Vegas.
How about Long Beach Poly and Sarah?
Yes.
Year in and year out, they seem to play.
The neighborhood game.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal contest.
Yeah.
5 of the last 7 meetings has been won by Sarah.
Correct.
Poly won last year, but the games are historically like 31-30. They have overtime games. Phenomenal matchup.
So last year's game was the first time in the 7 matchups. Now
Right.
going to be their 8th matchup. But in the 7 matchups, last year's matchup was the first it's ever been a double-digit deficit. It's always 1 point, 2 points, 4 points. So it just goes to show you how close these games are. And I call it the neighborhood game because all these kids know each other, and it just makes it that much more fun.
Notre Dame, the Fighting Sherman Oaks Notre Dame. 3-0 gets tested at J. Sarah.
Yeah,
we're going to find out how good the Knights are, right?
We're going to find out a lot, yeah. I think Notre Dame has outscored their first 3 opponents 125-0.
You got it. Right on the money.
And those opponents haven't been all that great, but that's okay.
Wait a minute. One of them was Birmingham. That's 41-0 against Birmingham.
Yeah, that says a lot about Birmingham.
Come on.
No, listen, you're getting thumped 41-0.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. But about Notre Dame, Evan Yabu, the new coach, this test is exactly what his team needs. It's a litmus test because they're going to go into the Mission League. And so playing Jay Sarah is going to tell you right where you need to be.
He's got the man of steel, though. Steel Pizzella, the
right.
quarterback. Superman's man of steel. Right?
And the linebacker, Brandon Bryant, worth shouting out.
That guy's a good football player,
yeah.
by the way. All right, last game we want to talk about is Los Alamitos Servite at Cerritos College.
Here's another one. I think Servite kind of, I don't know about on the rise, but how good are they? It's another question that we're asking Notre Dame. How good is Servite? We know Los Alamitos is good. Servite gets Los Alamitos at home. Can they pull off a victory? If they were to win that game, that would be a shocker. And everyone would be, oh, okay. Wow, Servite is that good. So another litmus test game for them.
What are you doing this weekend?
So tomorrow I'm actually going to catch a Friday afternoon game. I'm going to go to Palos Verdes Edison tomorrow. It's a 3:15, 3:30 kickoff. One of those. I got to figure it out.
I was teeing you up for Saturday night. We're working a game together.
You said, what am I doing tomorrow night?
No, I said this weekend.
Okay, well, is Friday's not part of the weekend?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
Okay, all right. So that's what I'm doing on Friday.
What are you doing Saturday
And then
night?
on Saturday, I'll be in Santa Ana
Why are you in Santa
for
Ana?
the big game.
Okay.
Mater Dei and Kahuku.
It'll be fun, don't you think?
Yes.
Who's going to be there? Fan View. We want to wish them the best of luck. It's their first entree into the Southern California market, and they're going to have that one on the internet nationwide.
And we'll be on the call.
We'll be on the call.
That's right. That's
I like
right.
that.
Yeah, I think more of your corny lines.
No,
and
no. I
low-hanging
played
fruit
straight when I
type,
called the game. No.
You know, that'll be perfect for the viewers.
No, I will not do that at all. How's the kid doing?
Kid's doing well. 1 month old. It's like flying like that.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
You know how to change diapers at all?
I've become a pro at the changing diapers thing, man. I'm good at it.
You're really good at it.
Yes. Yes. It's gonna be maybe another year, and then we'll have another one.
If you had to pick one performance we'll be talking about next week, who's it going to be? Who's going to break out this week? Put you on the spot with that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think maybe Darius Curry again. I think
the Long Beach Poly quarterback.
He was very special and very, very fun to watch when I saw him against Mission Viejo. And actually the most impressive thing I saw him do, he actually made quite a few mistakes. Turnovers, bad plays, didn't bother him. They were down
Resilient kid, right?
Absolutely. Next play mentality. Didn't matter. Unfazed. Down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, drove him down the field twice, won the game.
He's got the guts of a burglar.
That's a burglar.
He does.
I've never heard that before.
Yes, you have. Come on, you know I'm full of cliches.
When do they, what era do they say stuff like that?
2010 it started.
No way. Where are you going to be tomorrow?
Resting.
You usually try and hit a game on Friday nights.
No, I'm resting. I did 5 radio shows yesterday. We're doing show tonight, and we got the game on Saturday, and then I got like 15 games next week or something like that. Say goodnight, Tarek.
Good night, everybody.
Okay. For Tarek Fatal, our entire LA 36 crew, I'm Randy Roosevelt. Hopefully we'll be back here next week. We'll have some highlights maybe of Kahuku and Mater Dei. Who knows? For Tarek, I'm Randy. We'll see you next time. You were good tonight, I thought.
No,
No?
not my best work.
Why?
You know what I think about though? Did you ever play volleyball?
No.
Because I can't imagine you rising up over the net.
I could barely serve it across the net.
You jump phone book high, huh?
Yeah, if I'm lucky. I can't get over the A's.